This is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. I still feel like I'm in a dream. I still feel like did I actually watch the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs in person in New Orleans? I saw Jalen Hurts, the guy that I've been supporting since day one, and have said multiple times that in big games, he always performs, and that is why he is my quarterback. And I get to see him in person hoist the Lombardi trophy and get that Super Bowl MVP. We're going to talk about him. Vic Fangio and this defense. Oh my gosh. Are you really telling me that I got to see in person Cooper DeJean on his birthday have a pick six? Oh, okay. There's so many things that we're going to talk about. Like, comment, subscribe. Best believe this is our year. This is our year. You're telling me that 2025 has started with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts getting Super Bowl MVP. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a phenomenal year. This is going to be a phenomenal year. And in all seriousness, I do believe in some aspects this year has been really bad for some. What happened in New Orleans, that was a tragedy. What's happening with this government, with this guy, Donald Trump, that he's on the losing side. Talking about I'm with the winners, you're with the losers. And you are a loser. And we're seeing all the mess that he's been doing in the office. But on a serious note, before I get to the game and all that stuff, bro, the Eagles have legitimately kept my mental health in check, seeing all the ridiculousness that Donald Trump has been doing. I'm so serious. Being able to make content for you guys this whole entire year, being able to connect with y'all, white, black, yellow, blue, purple, it does not matter. When the Eagles win, it feels like everybody's together. And I was celebrating with everybody today. Made some great friends. All because we love the Philadelphia Eagles and we're Birds fans. Throughout this whole weekend, I could go to somebody and say two words, go Birds. And we hit it off from there. This was amazing. But we're first going to talk about Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts in this Super Bowl, 17 for 22, 293 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 119 passer rating. It's kind of like we knew this was going to happen. It's kind of like we knew that Jalen Hurts in the big games isn't the weak link. He's actually the guy that's going to propel you to win the whole thing. And what happened? He outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Actually, in the 2 Super Bowls that Jalen Hurts has played Patrick Mahomes, he's outplayed the man. I'm looking at this guy in his past 2 Super Bowls. He has 525 passing yards, 142 rushing yards, 9 big-time throws, and 7 total touchdowns. That's what we know. That's fact. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' career. He was the guy that y'all made fun of him in Alabama because Tua took his spot. And then he gets drafted in the second round. Who were all the guys that got drafted before Jalen Hurts? Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, and Jordan Love. I'm letting you know today on February 10th, 2025, he clears all them guys. And I'm going to say this too. Jalen Hurts is a top 2 quarterback in this league. He's over Lamar Jackson. He's over Josh Allen. And he's damn sure over Joe Burrow. He's over all those guys. He has a Super Bowl. He has a Super Bowl MVP. He has 2 NFC chips, 2 Pro Bowls. I can keep going on and on and on. A 46-20 record in the regular season, a 6-3 record in the postseason. This man's a winner. He's the best quarterback in Eagles history. He is the best quarterback in Eagles history. No debate. And this is his resume at 26 years old. So you're talking about a guy that's on track, on his way to becoming a Hall of Famer in this league. That's what Jalen Hurts' resume is. That's the guy that he was talked about as he can't throw. He can't do this. He ain't a winner. Tua took his spot. He's not that guy. He can't do this. He can't do that. I cannot believe that I had to endure a full season of folks telling me after I watched it with my own eyes in the biggest stage 2 years ago that Jalen Hurts is the weakest link. And what did we say? What did we say? We were saying, if you think Jalen Hurts is the weakest link, don't watch the NFL. Because come February 9th, at nighttime, the Eagles will be Super Bowl champs. What did I say? I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it all year. This man is a winner. And at the biggest stage, in the biggest moments, he outperformed the guy in Patrick Mahomes that's supposedly the GOAT. That's supposedly the second best quarterback of all time. And he outplayed him twice in the biggest moments. So yes, he's over Lamar Jackson. Yes, he's over Joe Burrow. And yes, he's over Josh Allen. He's over all those guys. Because at the end of the day, what matters? Winning. And I remember the Chiefs went ahead and stopped Saquon Barkley. That's the only thing that they did. That's the only thing they did. And they essentially said, Jalen Hurts, you got to beat us. And I've been trying to tell y'all, if you force Jalen Hurts to beat you, it's over. It's over. Now, Saquon Barkley had some incredible blocks, and he was great receiving-wise. It wasn't his best game rushing, but that was the Chiefs' plan to go ahead and stop him. But Jalen Hurts did what everybody was saying he could not do, and that was put the team on his back offensively and win a bowl and outplay Patrick Mahomes. That's what it is. Let's talk about Vic Fangio. You know, when Vic Fangio saw them defensive players like Jordan Davis's and Jalen Carter's and all those guys in OTAs or, you know, right when he got hired, what did he tell them? He said, it's not y'all fault. Y'all don't know what hard work is. But that's going to change. That's a bar. Let's rewind that. Vic Fangio, when he was first hired as the DC for the Eagles, went to the Eagles defensive players and told them, it's not your fault that you don't work hard, but that's going to change. This is a defensive unit that last year had Matt Patricia as their DC, had Sean Desai as their DC in the beginning of the year. But then they got a grown-up in the room, an elite defensive mind, and he turned around a bottom 5 defense to become the best defense in the NFL. I don't think anybody thought that this defense would be this good. Best case scenario, top 10. We ain't think it'd be this good. And Vic Fangio, with 2 weeks to prepare, shut down Patrick Mahomes. I'm not trying to hear the whole Patrick Mahomes 3 touchdowns. He pulled a Dak. Patrick Mahomes had his best Dak Prescott impression. Garbage time stats that make himself look a little bit better when you box score watch. And it makes the final score a little bit better. But if you watch the game, you know that Patrick Mahomes had his worst game of his career against Vic Fangio. And all I heard was, well, Patrick Mahomes is undefeated against Vic Fangio. Oh, Patrick Mahomes this. Oh, he has Vic Fangio's number. When all the stats prove that Patrick Mahomes is not his best when he faces Vic Fangio. And actually, if you give Vic Fangio a competent quarterback and a competent offense, what's about to happen? It's not going to be the same as having Drew Lock and the Broncos offense. Stop playing. So I look at this and I say, Vic Fangio, have yourself a bow. I look at this and I say, Vic Fangio, take a bow. Take a bow. That's where it is. Let's get into these defensive players. Cooper DeJean, on his birthday, got a pick 6. I've been trying to tell y'all it's in destiny. It's in the script. I've been trying to tell y'all it's in the script. Look, the Eagles were so good that not even the refs could manipulate the game. Not even the refs could rig the game. And I was looking at that first drive the Eagles had, and that bogus offensive pass interference on A.J. Brown, I was going to crash out. I was looking at that in real time. I was like, are they really doing this? And even though the refs tried to have their way, this Eagles team battled through it, and they prevailed in spite of the refs, in spite of all that BS that the NFL says they're not leaning towards the Chiefs' way. And this is why we said, when you look at the Chiefs, you got to stomp on them. You got to scrape it. You got to stomp on them 3 times because they ain't getting a three-peat. Stomp on them twice, 3 times, 5 times, twice. I don't even know. You got to stomp on them so many times that, you know what? The Chiefs are that roach that, again, you got to stomp on them and make sure they remember your name. What did Landon Dickerson say? You got to stomp on them, make sure they remember your name. And what happened? And what happened? It wasn't even a game. Like we predicted, it wasn't even a game. Because you got to beat the champs convincingly. You can't give them any hope. And that's what the Eagles did. They gave them no hope. They gave them no hope. Got Patrick Mahomes out there down 34-zip. 34-zip. So again, Cooper DeJean had himself a sensational night. That pick 6, to see it in person, oh my gosh, I just still get chills from that. We saw what Quinyon Mitchell did to Xavier Worthy. Locked up. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in back-to-back rounds. The first round with Quinyon, second round with Coop is generational. It literally changed the trajectory of this Eagles team. Now we're not just talking about a one-time championship. We're talking about a potential dynasty. I'll say it again. We're not talking about one championship. We're talking about a potential dynasty, because I'm looking at the defensive players on this team: Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, C.J. Garner-Johnson, that I don't know. He's much younger than people think he is. He's much younger than people think he is. Milton Williams. Like, do you know how good this defense has to be if Howie Roseman whiffed on Bryce Huff? He was literally a healthy scratch for this game. And this defense was still the number one defense in the league. And this defense had their best game of the year. Imagine that. Imagine Howie Roseman, his, biggest free agent signing of this offseason was Bryce Huff, and he was a healthy scratch. That's insane. That's insane. This is amazing. This is amazing. Speaking of defense, when Brandon Graham came back less than 3 months after tearing his tricep, I knew, I was like, the Eagles going to win. They're going to win. I mean, Brandon Graham ain't coming for nothing, bro. He's not coming out here for nothing. And he's a guy that it's not a coincidence that Brandon Graham has 2 championships. He's a part of the only teams in Eagles history to win the Super Bowl. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. And so I gotta just tip my cap to that boy, that man. I'm sorry, I gotta tip my cap to that man, Brandon Graham, because it is not a coincidence that the Eagles have 2 rings in his career, and they have 2 rings in franchise history. Brandon Graham is one of them, and he deserves all the praise. And this is a perfect send-off for him. Perfect send-off. After what happened last year, and we saw the atrocities that Matt Patricia did to this defense, and we were like, hey, I don't want to, send off Brandon Graham this way. And he comes back from injury, and just shows that Philly heart. He just shows that Philly heart. Man, oh man, this is emotional for me, bro. It's emotional for me, bro. Because I really believed in this team from day one. But I'm not perfect. While I believed in this Eagles team, I believed in Jalen Hurts. I was wrong about 2 things. I was wrong about Vic Fangio and this defense, because after that Falcons game, when Kirk Cousins walked us down, I said something like, I don't even think Jesus could save this defense. I was like, it doesn't matter who it is, Bill Belichick, whoever, it doesn't matter. And obviously what Vic Fangio showed was, look, I know what I'm doing. And this is a situation where we got some young guys that are learning my scheme, and they will get it. And after that bye week, they were lights out. That's what happened. And I was flat out wrong about that. Flat out wrong about that. But there's one guy in particular that I need to give an apology to. Nick Sirianni, you're him. I apologize. And I'm disgusted with myself because I allowed national media people to cloud my thinking, and I crapped on Nick Sirianni prematurely. I crapped on him prematurely. And I called for his job, and I didn't believe in him. And he made me look like an idiot. And I'm glad I look like an idiot. But Nick Sirianni is an elite coach. Nick Sirianni is the best coach in Eagles history. I'm letting you know that. And Nick Sirianni is having one of the best starts to a coaching career of all time. And just like what Sean McVay said, he does not understand the disrespect, And it's time now to give him that respect and point out that he's an elite coach. He deserves it. And if I ever see Nick Sirianni, bro, I will look at him face to face and I will say, I am sorry. I hope I do. I hope one day I can see that guy and be like, bruh, you were him all along. All along. And that's what it is. I mean, you talk about a guy that it doesn't matter what the public thinks. It doesn't matter what the guys outside the locker room think. If the guys in the locker room are all for Nick Sirianni, who cares what we think outside of it? And the results are right here. He is a Super Bowl winning coach. And you might not like his methods, but I damn sure like his results. And there's nothing you can say. He is perfect for Philly. And now that I think about it, Sirianni is the perfect coach for Philly because what did he do? People was criticizing him, calling him a clown. They said that, Siri, don't be doing that, Siri. People was criticizing Nick Sirianni, calling him a clown, calling for his job. And he barely beats the Browns. I don't see on the cloud in your contacts. No. Siri, no. Siri, no. No. No, Siri. And again, a guy oh, that's why, because I'm saying Sirianni, and then they thinking I'm saying Siri. That's why. Well, let me go ahead and turn my phone off real quick. Let me just turn my phone off real quick. That's dumb funny. That's dumb funny, yo. Let me turn. I'm like, yo, why is Siri keep on Nick Sirianni? So Nick Sirianni, once again, showed why he's a perfect coach for Philly. Perfect coach. Because they barely beat the Browns. And after all that criticism, he goes out there and is talking crazy. That's a Philly thing to do. This man out here playing many men at the practice. This man shaved his head. And since then, went what, like 17-1? And the one game he lost was Jalen Hurts out for the game. Just saying. Just saying. It's so many angles that we can go today. We got to give credit to Jake Elliott. I criticized him. He didn't have a good season. We all know that. And if you were looking for somebody to be that weak link, I have said that it was Jake Elliott. But Jake Elliott wasn't no weak link. He flat out turned up in the biggest moments. That's Jake the Make for a reason. And in those big games, in those big spots, Jake Elliott showed us who he is. He's that same guy that helped our season in 2017. Again, it's not a coincidence that Jake Elliott has 2 rings, and those are the only rings that the Eagles have in franchise history because he shows up when he needs to. Against the Rams, he didn't have a phenomenal game, but when he needed to make those field goals, he made those field goals. Now, it might have been some extra points that I was like, dang, I would like to have that. But when you needed a field goal to really go up ahead or you needed it in a certain situation, man, oh man, Jake Elliott pulled through. And he deserves all the praise, all the credit, all that stuff. And so I'm just elated. There's just so many ways I can go. And I'm letting y'all know it is 1:40 a.m. Central Time in New Orleans. And I'm letting y'all know that this content won't stop. This has been the most consistent I've been ever in my life. And I owe it to y'all watching. I owe it to the Eagles and their dominance because this really does help my mental health. This helps a lot of stuff, bro. Obviously, I love to do it. Obviously, I love talking sports. I love the Eagles. I'm from Philly. Y'all know how we feel about our teams. We have that passion, but it's easier to do it when you got a team that's all in. That's why I have so much respect for Sixers content creators that all they do is Sixers because you see a team that doesn't have heart. Doesn't have heart. And look, I don't care if the Sixers lose every single game for the next 5 years. I'm dead serious. The Eagles won the Bowl and they stopped Patrick Mahomes from three-peating. And that's what Mahomes gets. He was talking so crazy, talking about we're getting that three-peat this, we're getting that three-peat that. He wanted to go ahead and rock that Kelly Green. Oh, he wanted to go ahead and rock that green suit. That was dumb corny. What did he think that he was doing? Patrick Mahomes is a cornball for that. He's corny. He's corny. Patrick Mahomes out here trying to play mind games, and he ended up playing his worst game of his career. I will say it again, and I will end it off with this. Patrick Mahomes trying to play mind games, and went ahead and had his worst game of his career. So I don't care if you have a green suit, a red suit, a white suit. Hell, you should have had a black suit because this was your funeral, Turkey Burger. This was your funeral. So pack your bags. We ain't doing no three-peat. And you can live with Jalen Hurts outplaying you in the Super Bowl every single time. You got to live with that. You got to live with that. Nobody else but you. And in the biggest moments, Jalen Hurts has delivered instead of you. Jalen Hurts is 2-1 against Patrick Mahomes. Okay. It's up. My last Chiefs troll, and I'm going to talk about that orange man. That orange man, I ain't going to say his name, was talking real reckless, talking about some winners this, winners that. You're a loser, and you're on the wrong side of history. My skin is glowing. My cut is fresh. My teeth are straight. It's because I'm on the right side of history. Hey, when you on the wrong side of history, you don't look very good. You look like an orange monkey. You look like an orangutan. It's not a coincidence. And all them Chiefs fans, they got that bad spirit with them. They got that bad voodoo, that bad spirit. And you can see it in their eyes. But it's something about being from Philly and having that brotherly love glow that you walk out on Broad Street, you do your little strut, you do your little shimmy, you go ahead and blow that whistle. And you walk into work with the smile on your face because you know that your team is world champions. So like, comment, subscribe. God don't like ugly, and the Eagles are on the right side of history. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where y'all know we always keep it real, and y'all know I'm in New Orleans. Trip out. Trip out. And I gotta end this with the Fly Eagles Fly chant. So get up, get out of your seat right now. If you're at work right now watching, go to the bathroom, get your headphones in, do whatever. But you're singing this chant with me. I'm not playing with you. Look me in my eyes. You gonna do this chant. Bum, 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 bum. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high. Watch them Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Eagles, Eagles. Go Birds. Go Birds. I love y'all.